Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks, which is brought to you by Chase and Thrills Custom T-shirts and accessories, sponsored by The Ice Shaker, and also sponsored by Make It Mac. Go buy your custom Timeout Talks apparel via www.chaseandthrills.com, and do not forget to purchase your ice shakers at www.iceshaker.com. We still have a 15% off coupon code with them, so don't forget. Christmas season's coming on. Put in Timeout Talks. It doesn't even have to be all caps. It'll pick it up on the line online on the Ice Shaker website. So just want to thank everybody for joining us. We've got, as me and Ben were talking in the pre-show, but Ben, we are going to kick things off on sort of a grim note here. I mean, there's a couple huge points that
Yeah, Josh, it's well like the Timberwolves. I believe a couple years ago when they won that, they meant a little more. It's a young groove, so they just wanted it more than us. He's trying to get traded every year. Nucleus over there now, so it's just an exciting team to look out for. So, kudos to the Pacers. Listen, yeah, I don't want to just keep saying, keep poo-pooing on the in-season tournament, Josh, but it's just what do you want for the Celtics? We're already an established team. We've got our sets on other things. We got our sets on the actual playoffs. But I mean, this in-season tournament serving a good purpose to showcase some of these younger teams. Like we're talking about Pacers, Pelicans before the show too. Shout out Zach. We can get some Zach comments in here about the Pelicans. Nice win over the Kings. And Zion didn't even play well. Zion only had 10 points, but Ingram and McCollum put it together, and Herb Jones. So I think the in-season tournament's good for that, Josh. Just sort of highlighting these up-and-coming teams. It's nice to see some of the youth out there. But am I going to be too upset? No. I don't like losing the lead in the third, as I've obviously said. I don't like that for the Celtics, just from past history of blowing leads. But no, I'm not going to get on this team for losing to the Pacers. They wanted more. I really like the Halliburton kid. That kid made some crazy shots in that game. I mean, that Kings sort of Pacers trade really worked out well for both of them. Them getting a bonus. Pacers getting obviously Halliburton. So overall, Josh, I'm not too mad at these guys. I'm not too upset. It is what it is. We're gonna bounce back, hopefully. But we gotta give it, hats off to the Pacers. It's just gonna be exciting. I liked his offense, Josh. I haven't really watched them too much, but I mean, top three in scoring, and they really just put on a show. I mean, some of these shots are crazy. They were pulling up from, and hey, hopefully they move on. I can care less about the in-season tournament now. I'm kind of rooting for the Pacers. They kind of win that tournament since the Celtics are out. But overall, I'm not too worried. Let's just move on. Let's get to the real stuff, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum of you, and not in terms of.
Perfect.
I think just the bigger picture. I know you kind of alluded to it a little bit. You mentioned the Celtics right now. Looking at the standings, we're 15-5. The Magic, Bucks, all within a game behind us. Then you go down 76ers, Knicks. They're all kind of just hanging around. Pacers too, who we bowed out to. I kind of watched that game though, Ben, and I can't get over the fact that one, we're just a completely different team without Porzingis, like the complete obvious. But two, I was talking to one of my good friends, and he was saying, think about it like this. Because I've been on the whole, let's see what Porzingis can do. He's the X factor of this team, which I still believe in. I still think he puts us over the hump. I'm not saying by any means he's the best player. I still think that's Jason Tatum. I still think you can somewhat make the argument for Jaylen Brown, even though he's having a down year. This year right now, of course, I would say Porzingis has been more valuable than Jaylen Brown when he's on the court. But again, I digress. Aside from Porzingis, and this is a good point that somebody mentioned to me. This team is still what? A top 3 team within the NBA. No questions about it. Still probably a front runner in the Eastern Conference. I mean, still a top defensive team. All that everything you want to point out to. The Celtics knock all those things out of the park. The defense has scared me a little bit. In the depth for center is a huge issue with this Boston Celtics team. I look at Porzingis, as I've mentioned, has kind of been playing some minutes. But aside from him, when he's out, we've got Al Horford. Then you're stretching in Luke Cornett, who shouldn't even be getting minutes at all. I mean, the Celtics have a key issue at the center slot for depth. I mean, guys like Miles Turner have killed us. Joel Embiid in the past as well, although we've beaten the 76ers the last 2 times we've played them. Same thing with Tyrese Halliburton. Like, overall, I feel like there's kind of an issue defensively for the Celtics and within their depth, their big man depth. I think we're going to be okay. I think Ben is right. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction from Josh. I think I kind of just expected them to, go into Indiana and win. Maybe they bow out to the Bucks in like the semifinals. I don't know. Then I'd be like, all right, I can kind of turn ahead to that. We're still probably in first place, as Ben mentioned. You can still just push all your chips in for that NBA, the real championship. But again, I'm not too caught up on the fact that we lost the play-in tournament. I think it's more just the overarching story of what is Porzingis going to do? How long is he going to be out for? When is he going to be back? And then moving forward, how are they going to address, this depth within their big men, within their centers? There's a gaping hole. Al Horford's getting older. He gives you valuable minutes, but when you take him off the court, it's Luke Cornett. I mean, it's just kind of a disaster. Besides Jason Tate, I'm like, who's the four for them right now? It's all over the place. I don't know. You see, I think we're going to be fine, but I am a little worried, and I do have the hazards on in terms of long-term stuff. Jaylen Brown hasn't been the best. Drew Holiday has been great, but again, defensively, it looks like we're kind of like we were last year. We went all in early in the season. Everybody freaked out, and then we kind of had a pumble. Same thing with the Bruins. Throw them in here, too. We're seeing that happen from the Bruins right now. And I'm not saying that the Celtics are going to do that, but I don't want them to do that. Their next game, let's take a look. Their next game is, it's Friday. It's to be determined. I think that, I don't know, maybe something with the play-in. I don't know how that's going to work out. But after that, it's 2 games against the Cavs. Then you got the Magic. You need to win that game at home. All eyes are on you. You can't go 0-3 against the Magic this year. They're also creeping up in the standings. I think that's a bigger game than we kind of should be talking about, or than what people have been talking about, Ben. But aside from that, I agree with your point. I don't think it's that big of a deal that they lost the play-in, but I think it's a big deal if you look at the Celtics moving forward. We can't have these excuses. We can't turn an eye to it. They have problems, and they need to figure out these problems, whether it's the head coach and Joe Mazzulla, or it is the depth within their center spots, or it is they're lacking defense, because you can't have Tyrese Halliburton be the best player on the court. It just can't happen. Shout out to him. Great player. Can kill it on all sides of the ball. By no means necessary. But again, you had Jason Tatum, you have Jaylen Brown, you have Drew Holiday, you have Derek White, you have many of your core pieces. You should not be losing that game. That's my bigger issue, Ben. Is the Celtics? I don't know. I'm a little worried moving forward, to put a bow on it.
No, I thought it was a great point right there with the Porzingis topic. I had those same concerns when we remortgaged everything with him. If we get him over here, get rid of Smart, get rid of Rob. Obviously, Rob going down for the year. It's just hindsight. We knew that was coming, but I mean, you mortgage all these key players for a guy that's pretty injury prone. He's been pretty injury prone for a while now. And like Josh pointed out, I mean, you saw when he's healthy, he's great. I believe we're the best team in the league when he's healthy, fully ready to go with us. But when he's not, you see, Jaylen and Jason dropping 30 points each, 32 and 30 respectively, Tatum and Brown. But it's just these other guys aren't getting it done. If you don't have that third scorer, it can't be Derek White. Sam Hauser putting up 15 at some great threes, but no one else showed up. As you mentioned, now it's great and everything. Great minutes guy. He's not doing what he used to do for us. He's not going to be a scorer. He's just going to be a role player. Just help out that big man depth. So a little concerned with that. That's a good point from Josh. We're still differ on that one, but I think that's what we agree on. This injury concern is a big one for the Celtics with the big men. I think they're going to have to get a trade. They probably have to get a little trade in there. I know we mentioned Miles Turner. Maybe bring a guy like him over here. Just get some more depth over here. I think that would be great. But Yeah, not too much concern. Yeah, not Josh gonna be a little concerned with the injury bug. No, he's gonna be a little concerned. I was kind of putting that Porzingis on the back burner, but uh, yeah, that's really the only thing that concerns me. I mean, that's the only really hurdle for this team, the health, which we've seen in the years past. So I think we'll be good. Let's just, like Josh said, I don't like losing to the Pacers. Never good with that. And um, as you alluded to, we gotta get that Magic game. That Magic can't go 0-3, especially with them creeping up in the standings, as you pointed out. It's gonna be a big tiebreaker. We can already see that, being a big headline going down the line, big tiebreaker for us. That wouldn't go our way. So we need to get that game, get everyone on the right track, Josh.
Agree with you anymore, Ben. Just previewing right here, we got a couple big matchups tonight. The earlier slate, we got the Bucks, Knicks. The winner of that plays the Pacers in the Eastern semifinals of the play-in tournament. And then the other side, Zach's Pelicans are waiting the
Pelicans.
Lakers, who are the number 1 seed, against the number 4 seeded Phoenix Suns. The winner of that will play the Pelicans. That will set up those matchups will for the Eastern semifinals. Jesus, I can't speak tonight. Are both on Thursday, 5 p.m., and then 9 p.m. for the Western Conference Finals. So again, yeah, I think Ben mentioned it nice. We got some hurdles, we've got some question marks, but moving forward, we're still the number 1 seed. We'll see how we fare with the Magic next week. I think we've got kind of a slow week for the NBA this week with the play-in tournament and stuff. I know that because fantasy, I'm looking at my stuff and I'm like, wait, there's not many games. But the NFL has consumed much of our lives. And hey, why shouldn't it? Let's hop right in. Week 13 recap in here. A lot of stuff, Ben. I mean, we saw many injuries. Monday Night Football turned into an absolute... Romo saying hi, right, real quick. Turned into an absolute disaster. You had Jake Browning, and then you had C.J. Beathard on the field. Trevor Lawrence gets hurt. Christian Kirk. We've got Kenny Pickett getting hurt. 2 backups probably on Thursday Night Football. The 49ers look dominant. They look like the best team in all of the NFL. We've got me being wrong with the Lions, ousting the Saints. You've got the Falcons again. They just continue to win. Steelers losing to the Cardinals. Colts winning in overtime fashion. Dolphins look dominant. But Ben, big Thursday night matchup. What's your thoughts, though? Just recapping. I mean, I think I had the Steelers as my lock.
I mean, Kenny going down, Josh. It was just, yeah, she pointed out here. Cardinals revenge game. It's a revenge game for many reasons. Super Bowl and James Conner coming back to Pittsburgh. So I wanted to get a couple touchdowns on us. And I see that comment as well. Pats Steelers on Thursday, about to be the game of the year. We all know he's being sarcastic, but hey, I know a lot of people are going to be taking the under. I might take the over just to be a little different. I know a lot of people are going to take the under on that game, 30.5. It's the lowest game in, I think, since 1933 or something crazy like that. It's the lowest under for a primetime game or something like that. It was a crazy stat, but yeah, we stink right now, Josh. Going back to the Cardinals, yeah, I mean, Kenny going down, that was just rough. Once he went down, and that Mitch, I had a little hope, I had a little faith, but once Mitch fumbled that first one, I said it's over after that, and I'm all out on Mitch, Josh. We need a new backup. I don't know, making me wish we still had Dobbs, but Mitch has got to go. Mitch is just not serviceable. It's just going to be a dreadful Thursday night game. This is going to be it's going to be a tough one. I don't know who really wants to win this one Thursday night, but Josh, I don't know. If I gotta see how long Kenny's out for, but Steelers not looking good right now. Might lose that wild card spot. As you mentioned, that Colts win, Texans win, big win over the Broncos, or solidifying themselves in the wild card race. The Browns hanging around barely, not barely, but still hanging around. It's just I don't know. I think the injuries are going to catch up to the Steelers, and Kenny going down was just awful. I think we would have won that game if Kenny was in, but that was just rough. Injuries might just take this team right now, Josh. And for this Thursday night one, who really knows? Who really is going to get too excited for this one? We got Zappy on the screen. It's Zappy versus Mitch. So you're really, the Patriots, again, The first time ever flex to have a Monday night game. I think that was the first flex ever. Uh, they probably should have flexed this one, but we're gonna have to stick with it. It's gonna be gross. That's all I really could say on this one, Josh, for that game sort of preview. We'll get a little more into it, but it's gonna be gross, Josh. But Steelers might be done right now. Sorry, everybody.
I was just talking to James about that earlier. It's looking grim in Pittsburgh. I don't know how long. I think Kenny Pickett just had surgery. I mean, it's just it's a rough scene in Pittsburgh right now. And again, it seems like it's just the same old story where the quarterback play is always in some degree just the Achilles heel for you guys. Your defense does what it can. I mean, even the defense didn't look. I mean, it was just a whole momentum of just a downfall in momentum this past weekend. You saw your number one quarterback go down, and then the team kind of just shut down. I was watching Red Zone, flipping back and forth, and I'm just like, what is going on? Maybe, as Charlie and you have mentioned, it was the revenge game for James Conner and those Arizona Cardinals from that loss in 2008, 2009. But I think the Steelers might have a chance to get in because of how easy that schedule is. But man, oh man, is the AFC picture just bonkers right now. You've got the Miami Dolphins in the number one seed. Then you've got, I believe, the Chiefs as the number 2 seed. Let me pull this up right here. Yeah, we've got the Chiefs. Hold on, playoff picture. Let's get it up here.
It might be the Ravens. I don't know. Everybody. I don't know where the Ravens are. I believe the Ravens.
You're right. You're right. It goes Dolphins, Ravens, Chiefs, Jaguars at 4, Steelers at 5. No change after that loss to the Cardinals. Colts at 6. So Jeff and Jose, if dare I say Jose, they're Colts 7-5 right now, second in the AFC South, battling for the hat. I mean, they're just ousted the Houston Texans for a playoff spot, and then the Browns, who, I mean, I think it's the AFC North is just the wheels are falling off. Both quarterbacks go down. The Browns are holding on to the 7th seed, but I think you got to watch out for the Texans and you've got to watch out for the Broncos. I mean, I don't know. I mean, an interesting matchup here for the Broncos. I think they could put the nail in the Chargers' coffin this weekend. You got the Chiefs-Bills, huge matchup this weekend. The Bills are still in the hunt. They're the 10th seed right now. Who would have ever saw that coming? Big matchup that just we kind of forgot about because both teams have been kind of on a losing skid. But again, we were talking so highly about this AFC North, Ben, a couple weeks ago. And now we're kind of looking at it like, I mean, right now, if I have to look at it closely, but I just, my initial gut reaction says the Browns fall out of a playoff spot. Whether it's the Bills, Texans, or Broncos. I mean, I like the Texans more than I like the Broncos, and I still have faith in the Bills. One of those teams is going to take the Browns spot, and then the Steelers, maybe you guys stay in, maybe, because you're playing the Pats, you can get another win, buy some more time without Kenny Pickett. I mean, I don't know how much faith you got. I mean, if they do say all you got to do is make the dance, but it could be a massacre in the playoffs for whoever you play. I don't know. You're going to be going on the road.
Ravens now.
He wants to play the Ravens. I don't know. But, yeah, a lot to not look forward to in that Steelers-Patriots matchup in terms of primetime players will not be out there. It will be a primetime game, and that I think the over-under is stealing the show for that. I think that'll be what tunes people in. 30.5. I mean, that's super low, Ben. So I mean, you're saying both teams around 2 touchdowns, less than 15 points.
It's just crazy.
It makes
these
sense,
offenses stink, Josh. Yeah, 6-0's bad. That's, I hear all these Patriots fans coming after me, Jimmy specifically too. And listen, hey, at least we're better than you guys. I don't want to hear everyone's making fun of me for the Cardinals loss. You just lost 6-0. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad at Gillette. 6-0 to the Chargers. I mean, that was their fewest points ever in their franchise history win. So I don't want to hear it from the Pats. This is just going to be a gross game. hopefully we can win this one, as Josh said. I think this easy schedule, got one of the easiest schedules in the league. Hopefully that can bode well for us and sort of help us out like it did the Pats a couple years ago. Sort of just get in the playoffs, but we'll probably just get killed as soon as whoever we play. That's why I kind of want to fall into that 7th seed, maybe play the Ravens. We kind of, sometimes beat the Ravens, but it'll probably be in Baltimore, so probably not. But Jeff saying Colts are fun. Yeah, Colts are pretty fun. Colts are good team over there. I like that defense, and like it's just those teams. I don't know. I think those teams are going to just sneak past us, and they're just better than us right now. That defense for the Colts is going off. Pittman's finding a stride. I know Jonathan Taylor just went down, but Zach Moss is serviceable. For fantasy, and he's serviceable for real life too. But I think the boss pointed out Cardinals hadn't won in Pittsburgh in 54 years. Yeah, so maybe more to the revenge game and all that. They wanted to get the win, and I didn't forget this one. The Packers are the Packers legit? Probably not. I think that's just a random win. That's just a random win, Josh. Just like the. I mean, listen, just like sort of that bang. It's not totally similar, but I mean that Bengals win last night. What is that really going to do? I mean, Burrow's out for the year. Just one of those random primetime, upsets you get. Like the Packers still chasing that wild card spot. It might help them with the wild card spot. Maybe sneak into that seventh spot, but no, they're not legit. They're not going. They're not doing anything. Jordan Love still. That offense just still needs to grow and still, just needs to get better. That offensive line just needs to get better. I like what I saw from Christian Watson. They look good out there. So good signs from the Packers, but no, I don't think they're legit, Josh. Or cheat.
It's tough. You look at the NFC picture. I know we kind of focus a little bit on the AFC picture. And it's really a dogfight between the Vikings and Packers. I mean, 6-6 Vikings. They play each other week 17, I believe, because I looked that up. Packers 6-6 as well. I mean, let's you know what? Let's take a look right now. I'm gonna look up the Packers. Let's go through this quick because a little part of me, Ben, wants to say the Packers have a shot.
Oh yeah, they still
to make the playoffs. And I mean, you look at they play the Giants this weekend in New York. I mean that should be a win. Monday night. That should be a win. You go to 7-6 there. Then you play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'll be a good game. I could see them losing that one though. Just weird Buccaneers. I don't know. Then they play the Panthers on the road, Vikings, and then the Bears at home. So these aren't they don't have any monster matchups. I mean, they just beat the Lions and the Chiefs back to back and the Chargers. They're on a 3-game win streak right now. As I mentioned, I mean, they're the 7th seed. You've got the Rams on the bubble who are in the Seahawks as well, falling down 3 slots after that loss to the Cowboys. You've got some teams kind of making noise. Buccaneers. I mean, Saints. I don't know how realistic it is, but I think it's really going to be a battle between the Packers and Vikings. Who is going to take that wild card spot? I think the Lions have kind of ran away with that division. I don't know how legit the Lions are, but I still think that they'll hold on to that division. They'll win. That was a good win for them against the Saints. They were able to kind of survive a late rally from the New Orleans Saints. Sorry, Zach. But again, I believe in the Packers more than I do the Vikings. I think the Vikings have kind of fallen off. This Josh Dobbs, Hayes is kind of wearing down. No knock to him, but it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I think they're starting to get more film on him and stuff like that. He's done a great job kind of filling in there. They're trying to kind of make ends meet. I know they're getting Justin Jefferson back this weekend. But again, Jordan Love, I think he's 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in his last 3 games. He's playing with a little swagger, and this is what they do. This is what they did last year. They started playing very well towards the end of the season. All of a sudden, Christian Watson catches on. You've got Romeo Doubs. They've got a very sneaky, underrated wide receiving core. They've got the tight end there. I think it's Musgrave. They got him going. They're Reed as well, excuse me. Of course, they're getting Aaron Jones back this weekend. So I like their chances to sneak in to a wild card spot, but I'm not going to say they're legit. I think it's more of a wide receiver issue in Kansas City. And I think Kansas City has some big issues, Ben. And I think you just look at the Bills, you look at the Chiefs, two teams that we kind of thought. I mean, the Chiefs, again, I don't want to like overreact. They dropped a couple games. They're still in contention. They're still first in their division. But again, they have some issues, and I don't know how far they're going to go. Same with the Bills. I mean, I've been trying to defend these Bills for multiple weeks. Again, they've got a very tough uphill to climb. And I don't think the Chiefs necessarily have a tough uphill battle to climb, but I do think that they worry me within their weaponry for their wide receivers. Their defense has been great, but again, Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked prime. He hasn't looked like himself, and he can only do so much with Travis Kelce as the glue. I know there was a couple holding calls there, and you can go back and forth on the referees. But again, I don't think the Packers are necessarily legit. Will say, though, I think that they have a pretty solid chance of making the playoffs. But again, it's the top three dogs there. I guess if you want to say four with the Lions, but I think it's the top three dogs. It's the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Philadelphia Eagles run the NFC.
Yeah, pretty easy with that, Josh. Those main dogs are up there. They're gonna go pretty far. Lions, Lions are still a little shaky to me. I don't like how the Saints came back. Uh, Shout out to Zach too. Zach saying, "Hey, the Saints are winning that division or making the playoffs." I don't know. I don't know. That's a little tough task. In Winston we trust. We'll see. Hey, Zach wants Winston so bad. We're gonna see what he can get done. But it's a little just interesting seeing that bottom. I just don't think any of those bottom teams are going to put up a shot. AFC is a little tougher. I think AFC is a little more well-rounded. Just sort of from top to bottom, put tougher matchups. But I think the NFC is definitely the more top-heavy teams. And like Josh said, I think he didn't say this, but I'm going to put it out there. I mean, but I could see the Super Bowl winner being those three teams. Dallas, Niners, Eagles. Obviously, Niners just embarrassed the Eagles, but I mean, as we point out, they look much like the Cardinals. That's a revenge game for them. They wanted that one. Debo was ready to go. They were chirping them during their DB warm-ups. They were ready to go. They wanted to beat Philly in Philly, sort of revenge that playoff loss. And you got to give it to the 49ers. When that team's fully loaded, Josh, I mean, it's just a tough team to beat. Debo healthy, Brandon Ayuk's coming into Brock Purdy's number one receiver, just go-to guy, George Kittle there. Obviously McCaffrey, the cherry on top, but that team's just got so many weapons on the offensive side. It's just tough to bet against them. And obviously, with the Dallas history, the Niners are looking pretty good right now. So, but I think mainly right there, I just single out those three. I think those three teams. No offense to the AFC, like we said, Chiefs, Bills, all these other teams. Those top dogs got well, Bills aren't top dog, but Chiefs got their own problems. Dolphins, as Josh pointed out, and they haven't really beat anybody. Ravens always flop, and Ravens can never do anything in the playoffs of late. So I think the NFC is pretty solidified and just being one of the favorite Super Bowl contenders out of those three teams. No offense to Josh, mainly probably Philly or San Fran, but I throw Dallas in there. I mean, Dallas just that's a dominating win over the Commanders. Really set the tone. Dallas. I mean, Dak's just getting into his own. So Dak's getting into his own. I like what I'm seeing from him. If he can just keep that up, like as Josh pointed out before the season, just keep those turnovers down. This is how this team's going to win. And Dallas is doing it. So put them a little below, obviously Philly and San Fran. But I mean, I think it's just the NFC's time to shine right now. AFC is on the little back burner right now.
And I agree. I agree with that sentiment too. I mean, you look at the 49ers right now, and they're playing with a swag. They had that losing skid. They're not panicking. You got Debo back. You've got Brock Purdy playing like an MVP candidate. I mean, they just went into Philadelphia and took their soul, pretty similar to what they did to us. And I think right now it's such a weird league. But again, I think on paper we can all agree that they're probably the best team they are the best team in the National Football League. Right now, I still think they're the best team in the National Football League. 2 in terms of not even on paper, just in general. That's who I'm taking. They're the top dogs in the NFC. And like you said, Dallas hasn't beaten them. They just took Philly's soul. And last year, they didn't even have their quarterback in that game. I think it was a personal game for the Niners. They had it circled. The Eagles came in with a lot of talk. Deebo Samuel shut that down. So good win for Dallas. Good win for the Niners as well. Helps us out. But again, got to handle our own business. The Niners are a top dog. Christian McCaffrey is just unbelievable. I mean, it was a close game, and it was one of those where you kind of thought, like, the Eagles, this is what they do. They hang around in games, but it just got away from them. Jalen Hurts, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I don't know how he's somehow in that MVP candidate race. I am a huge Jalen Hurts advocate, but I think you got to look at guys like Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy above him. He knew I was going to get there, but you got it just the number-wise. But, I mean, I agree with you, Ben. To Dallas, quickly, I think beating up on the – not beating up, but, you know, kind of rallying at the end against the Seahawks is probably their most legitimate win. I know Seattle's not even 500 right now, and that's kind of what they're going to do. They're going to say that. But, again – huge win for Dallas. They needed that one. I mean, this isn't... Talk about an uphill battle. I was talking about the Bills. Dallas has a very, very tough uphill battle. We've got the Eagles at home this weekend. Then we go to Buffalo, to Miami. Then we play the Lions at home and then finish out on the road against Washington, which is always a close game to end the season. So, quite the doozy. Even if Dallas does win this weekend, they've got a lot. They've got their hands full ahead of them. But as you mentioned, Ben, it's the Niners' league to lose. And as you mentioned too, flip over to the AFC. It's kind of wide open. I mean, like you mentioned, we talk about the Ravens, and I was all high up on the Ravens, and then they lost a couple games. They lost that game to you guys, and then, you know, that weary thought that I had in my head, like, you know, the Ravens just can't get it done in the playoffs. That kind of creeped right back into my mind. And Miami Dolphins are number 1. Yeah, they'll be tough to play, you know, at home if they get that number 1 seed and they get that bye. But again, like, who have they really beaten? They've lost against some pretty legitimate teams as well. So Chiefs look weak. I mean, their receiving core is very, very thin. I mean, they got to figure something out, restructure some contracts, sign some guys. It's looking... Travis Kelce is that glue that holds everything together, and that's going to pop and burst at some point. And aside from that, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they've got a huge injury. I mean, I don't even know how legit they are with Trevor Lawrence. So many question marks, Ben. But this week 13 made some of us open our eyes to some of the league around us. And Lewis, Josh, what swag the Bills playing with? I know he was going to come with that. I was talking about I don't know who I was talking about, but I'm pretty sure I was talking about the Packers. Oh, no, I was talking about the Niners. I was talking about the Niners are playing with some swag right now. The Bills, I mean, I will say one thing, that they had the bye week last week. They could have used that. They used that at a good time. But, hey, that Philadelphia loss was a huge, huge loss for the Bills, Ben. They needed that one. I think that one hurts us, too, Dallas, a little bit. Because then you're looking at 9-3. For the Eagles, They'd be playing us 9-3. It'd be, you know, I don't know. I digress. I was talking about the Niners playing with some swag, and the Bills. James said it first. I mean, every game is must win. Every game they go on now is must win. I mean, because they're 6-6 right now, and they're the 10th seed. They're not even in the playoffs. So Dallas and the Bills got a lot ahead of them. I think Dallas is in a lot of a better situation here. Even if we drop a couple more games, we're still not really going to fall out of that fifth seed, So plenty of question marks, and it's going to be a wild week 14, Ben. I know we're going to be getting into some of our predictions in a second. So wild week 14 to come.
Yeah, good point from Lewis, too. I kind of forgot about the Bills, obviously, on the bye week. And as you mentioned, just being 10th, the kind of I think that Eagles loss really did just kind of dig him in. You know, I got to look at the schedule. I got to see who they're playing. But I don't know, something about this team just isn't, you know, Josh Allen's just not connecting with everybody. This team's not here this year. This just isn't their year. They got to admit it on that one. Injuries have caught up with them. Injuries hurt them the whole year. So, I mean, listen, sorry, Jared. Sorry, all the Bills fans, Bills Mafia, but this is not your year. Not your year on this one. It's going to happen. Just keep building around Josh Allen. I don't know if Diggs is going to be around too much longer. Hopefully, he is. I mean, if you're a Bills fan, you want to keep him around as long as you can. But I know Josh doesn't want it. Josh doesn't like it. But uh, for the Bills, yeah, it's as Josh pointed out, just must win every single game. If you even want a shot or thought about getting into this playoff. So uh, I think, and that Broncos loss too. Obviously, just we can look at all these ones, but I think that Broncos loss just uh, really dug them into. You really need that win. That was just a bounce back game ran all over against the Broncos, and just to lose in that kind of dramatic fashion. Obviously, the penalty is that's on them. They can't blame anyone but themselves. But I mean, you had it. You just put 12 guys out there. How are you going to put 12 guys out there? It's such a key situation. The Bills just don't deserve it this year. If we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts of it, they just didn't deserve it. And it stinks, but there's always next year, Jared. Always next year. But yeah, I'm writing them off, Josh. They're done.
Ben's writing them off. We're going to get into some predictions. I wanted to give some time for Ben and us to kind of break down this game, Thursday night game, 2-10 Patriots. Traveling into Pittsburgh. It's the battle of the backups, 7-5. Pittsburgh, they're still in that playoff hunt right now. Patriots on the other side. I mean, they just want to lose games. They want to get that early draft pick. What do you think, Ben? What's your thoughts on this one? I want to give you the floor for a while here.
It's going to be a gross one, Josh. Yeah, as Lewis mentioned, it's really really not going to go too hard with this one. But they just stink. Both these teams stink right now. I wish Kenny was here. Kenny would make this game a lot better. Not for us mainly, but I think just for the optics of it, because I mean, Mitch versus Zappi isn't going to really get anyone to the couch. It's and Lewis bringing up, yeah, finally they might be as we beat you a couple of times, but yeah, this one, if we lose this one, I don't know how I'm going to sleep. We really need this one. All the pressure's on us. Pats are just coming in there. I think the Pats want to lose sometimes. Especially after that Ryland kick, now putting up 0 points. Hey, Jeff, going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie. It's going to be, like I said, hit the over. Hit the over. I'm going to hit the over 30.5, just for fun. Just for a little fun. Yeah, see, yeah, no, that's 10-7. Hopefully it's something like that. But Josh, to be honest, this game stinks. This game stinks. Just two teams, just right now, just injuries, just catching up to us right now. They're catching up to us. Kenny being down, having hand surgery, it's just not good. It's not good for us right now. Mitch is, like I've said previously in the show, I'm done with Mitch. Get Mitch out of here. Need a new backup. He's just not it. I know he had that great game in Chicago against the Pats many years ago, but it's over. Get him out of here. Need somebody else. I think we got a chance. So I think obviously we got a chance. I think it's kind of sneaky. I don't know. Mitch playing against this team. I don't know. I just get flashbacks to the last time when Mitch was playing. I thought that was an easy one, and then the Pats snuck it out. Obviously, Mac was playing a lot better, and obviously was happy wasn't in. But this game scares me, Josh. This game scares me because if we lose this one, it's over. We'll throw us right with the Bills. The season's done. We can't lose this game. This is a must-win game for us. Pats obviously just trying to tank, maybe for Williams or May. But now this is going to be a gross one. There's really not too much else, Josh. There's really this team, this game should have got flex. I'm going to keep saying it. Probably should have got flex, but I'll take the Thursday night. I always love getting to watch them. This, and that's the main part to it. Lewis brings up. This really is a no-win for me. Of course, Pats fans got to twist this to their advantage after years of torment and them always making excuses for everything. And now if they get the upset win, I'll never hear the end of it. Which is true. We kind of this is a no-win for us. This game stinks for us, Josh. As I'm looking at it, obviously I love playing the Pats. I love just getting that rivalry going. I love yelling at everybody. But I mean, this game really has no benefits for us. Here we go. Yeah, this it's true. It's true. I think we should win this game easily. I think we should win this game easily. And listen, I'm not going to spoil my pick yet, but I think my pick will agree. Uh, no, here we go. No, put those in the stat. Put those in the chat, Lewis. We'll put them in there. We'll look at them. Yeah, put it in the chat. Let's see. Let's see what they look like. I don't think it's that bad. I think Brady kind of overshadowed it a little, but I think overall not too bad. But we're gonna win this game, Josh. We're gonna win this one. Keep moving. Because if we lose, I don't know. I might not be here next week.
Got We'll get to our score predictions for that one in a second, but we've got Anthony, we've got Tony, Big T-Bone coming in here with a nice question. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but we got some time. Let's get back to it. Looks like Houston might sneak in the playoffs. Do you think they have a chance? I'm kind of liking their game right now. I mean, I think the Tank Dell injury is huge. I still think though this team, they just rally, they corral, like everybody's got a spot. Like everybody is playing a role. Like look at Devin Singletary. They've figured him out. You've got Dalton Schultz has been pretty serviceable. I know he missed last week, or not serviceable, but he's been very good. He's been worth the money. Noah Brown as well went off weeks ago. You've got Nico Collins who's been killing it. Excuse me, Will Anderson. They're getting Stingley back. I know he's been kind of banged up, but and then of course, I mean the MVP candidate CJ Stroud himself. This is a scary team, and this is a team now that I want to throw this one out here. They have a chance to make a run for that division. I know the Colts are kind of making things happen, but they still got a couple divisional games down the line here, Ben. Trevor Lawrence seems banged up. I think they're going to get in no matter what. I think the Browns are going to fall out, and I have more faith that the Texans fall into a playoff spot than the Broncos, excuse me. But they've got a couple interesting matchups. This week, I believe the Texans are playing... let's see. Let's see that matchup. I was looking at it, and I thought, who are they playing? Texans are playing the Jets on the road. I think they can win that one. That'll be a tough one. It's a tough defense, tough atmosphere, especially for a rookie quarterback, but I think they'll be fine. I mean, Zach Wilson doesn't even want to play. So that's just another insane thing to me. But yeah, Tony, I think that I think right now, clippable moment for Timeout Talks. I think by the end of the season, after Week 18, we will be seeing the Houston Texans in a playoff game. So I think I like their chances of them making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, this team, just kind of no offense to Ray and the Panthers, but they kind of just set this team up. I saw a little snippet of, I mean, they just use all these draft picks that the Panthers gave them. Got Damon Pierce, got Tank Dell, Kenyon Green, a couple key defensive players as well. On the other side, they just used all this team, built the team. Obviously got Stroud in there as well, and that's a big part in it. But this team's just deep now. I mean, this team's just, they've been bad for so long and just built up a nice little farm system over there. I hate to use a baseball term, but Jeff bringing up, hey, the AFC South might be the best division in 3 years, maybe. You never know. I mean, Anthony Richardson can stay healthy, and Will Levis doesn't look too bad. The AFC South might be interesting down the line, but I definitely think the Texans can stick into the playoffs. It was a huge win over the Broncos. Now, as Josh pointed out, I mean, that was were the teams right in the hunt right there. I mean, the Broncos were the hottest team, I believe 5-game win streak. And they were looking pretty good, and Texas took them down in a great game. Nico Collins, Tank Dell injury is a good point. That's probably going to bring this. He was pretty important for that team. He was pretty important to stretch the field out. Sneeko can have his games too, but now you can just take away Nico Collins. You had to worry about Tank Dell. That's going to hurt them, but I think Schultz getting them back. Schultz coming back is going to be good. I could see him sneaking their way in. Like I said, I mean, Steelers might fall out. A team like the Texans, I think, has the best opportunity to sneak right in there. And I mean, you got to give all the credit to CJ Stroud. I mean, he's just playing phenomenal, getting that team around him, and D'Amico Ryans too. I mean, you got a great head coach in his first year. And we don't know how, he's a great first year head coach. Don't know if he's going to go too, I don't want to give him too much credit. CJ Stroud is going off, but we'll see how D'Amico does down the line. But he was a great coach before, and he's still doing great now. So great coach, great quarterback. I think this team's set up for success. So I definitely see him sneak into the playoffs, and I don't know. I think this Texas team's going to be around for quite some time, Josh.
Yeah, as I believe it was Charlie mentioned there. Jeff, excuse me. What if the AFC South is the best division in football in like 3 years? I mean, hey, you never know. You never know.
Never know.
Houston's already
Never
kind
know.
of ahead of the schedule in that. And I just was while Ben was talking there, I went and kind of looked. They've got a couple very winnable games here. They're playing the Jets. Then they play. Oh, I just had a brain fart here. I literally was just looking at it. So they play the Jets, the Texans. Then they play. Oh yeah, they play the Titans on the road. That's still a very winnable game. Then Week 16 is a huge matchup. They play the Browns, who are both 7-5 right now. Browns at home. Then they play the Titans at home, and then they finish the season against the Colts. That's going to be big.
Massive.
So they've got I'd say two games there that I'm kind of like, it can go either way against the Browns and Colts. The Browns, just their defense always gives people a hard time. I still like the Texans' chances against the Browns, and the Colts. I think the Colts just beat them the last time they played, right? It was like kind of like a last second thing.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the Texans to split that
good.
one. I still like the Texans more than I like the Colts as well. Colts have been a pretty. I mean, they've been pretty good. They've been battling, but. Again, we're running low. We're running low on time, and guess what? Ricky coming right in here. We're gonna go right back to this Patriots matchup. Go Pats, the 49. Oh, so he said, 49ers are taking the Super Bowl. Okay, he's got the Pats. He likes the Pats this weekend, and the 49ers are taking the Super Bowl. Nice little. I like that little hedge there from Ricky. And guess what, Ricky? I'm sorry. I know we got you in the chat, but I like the Steelers this weekend. I'll make it nice, short, and sweet. You're not going to have your best player out there on the field in Ramondre Stevenson, who, again, still hasn't even really looked like himself this year. You've got Bailey Zappi, who, I don't know, I mean, he's just as bad as Mac Jones. The defense is missing so many players. Zeke's going to have a decent game, but again, I like the Steelers at home. The better team right now. I think that the Patriots are just defeated. I mean, and this is no knock. This isn't me like kicking a team while they're down. I think the morale is just at an all-time low. Patriots fans and the organization know they want a top pick. It's just the inevitable. However, do I see them? Would I be stunned if they beat the Steelers this weekend? No. So I want to come out here and say that now before everybody starts saying, "Oh, Josh is saying they have no chance." I think it'll be a close game. I'm going to say 13-10. Steelers win. I think the Patriots are going to put up more than 0 points this week. Short week, though, but I like the Steelers. They got a little more going for them. Ramondre Stevenson injury hurts, and your receiving core is just terrible. It's probably the worst in the league, so I like the Steelers this weekend at home. Weird game. If you're covering the under, it'll cover here.
Hey, if you want to get risky, take the over with me. I got Steelers 2017. Just to put that out there. I want Steelers 2017. I want to speak that into existence. I think they're going to win. Lewis bringing up 2018. That was a good pick by Joe Hayden. It was a solid play. Shout out to Joe Hayden on that one. That was a great win. It was a great win that year. And of course, they're bringing up the tanking. Yep, they're going to just spin it like tankings. They're doing it perfectly. They're the best at it. That's how the Pants fans operate. They just twist it to their own advantage. But hey, yeah, Lewis, yeah, we're doing it without making it look that way. There you go. Hey, it's just an abysmal team to watch out there. Put up 0 points last week. I said, hey, Zeke, we got a pretty bad defense, Lewis. Don't worry. Don't worry. You can put up, I could find a couple guys on there. Zeke probably could get a little touchdown in there. Secondary, I don't know. These Cardinals receivers are making some circus catches on us. So, I mean, I don't know. Even as Josh just mentioned, the worst wide receiver core in the league maybe can put some on us. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'll just say 2017 just to speak into existence, but probably going to be a low score game. 13-10 probably, but it's going to be gross. It's going to be, it's Zappi versus Trubisky. So I don't know if you're really going to watch that. It doesn't really kind of garner everyone's attention with that. But I think the Steelers should get it done. Steelers get it done. Keep us on track. At home, there's just no way you come out here and lose this one to this team. It's the way the Pats are playing right now. So I got the Steelers winning. Would have made it my lock, but there we go. So maybe Lewis, maybe. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Lewis as a quarterback. Probably would have. Probably would have beat him. But yeah, these guys, Pats just got no way surface ball right now, Josh. These Pats are just, now of course, now it does. Now they're not even twisting, they're twisting, and not even making me feel good, making fun of them. Now they're just twisting my words, making me feel other ways. Whatever. Pats stink. Steelers should win this one. It's going to be 13-10, but let's go 2017.
Robin here. No, no, no. We'll see if he gets his raw bet segment in. But I'm going to go quick here. Big game here for Dallas. Oh. Philadelphia Eagles traveling into Dallas Sunday night. Big primetime matchup. Eagles are coming off a loss. You know they're not happy. But guess what? Jalen Hurts is banged up. I saw what I needed to see in that first game for Dallas, Ben. And I think we're going to win. I do think we're going to win. I think it's going to be a classic. It's going to be a showdown. I think the defense is going to be a little more poised this weekend. And hey, my fellow friend Chris Shimizu made a very good point last night. He said, Dallas, guess what? They got carved against the Seahawks. But guess what? They made the key stops in key moments when they needed to. And I think that's what they're going to do this weekend. Expect not many punts. Expect a pretty decent, I'd say, rather high-scoring game. I mean, in Philly, Dallas and Philly were just driving the ball down the whole entire game. I think this Philadelphia Eagles team has major problems in their secondary. I think they're going to bully us a little bit, Bland coming down to life. But I think Dallas will eke it out at the end. 27-26. It's going to be a very close game. I don't think Dak and company is going to drive the ball down. I think they're going to be up with the Eagles having a chance to drive it down the field. I think something's going to happen. DeMarcus Lawrence or Micah Parsons is going to make a great play. They'll shut them down. 27-26. You got to hope. I mean, this is me. This is Dallas. You're throwing everything in now. This is your real chance here at the division. This is your real chance at a bye week. You got to be perfect to finish the season. I know it's an uphill battle, but your Super Bowl team, go out there and play like it. 27-26, Ben. Nail biter. Very close game. But I think Dallas gets the win at home this time.
Yeah, I think Dallas wins this one as well. Just want to double check. Yeah, the Cowboys, always a little unsure with them, especially going up against the Eagles. But I think, as Josh just mentioned at the end, yeah, them being home, this is going to be big for them. They can't lose at home to this team. I'm going to take Lewis's. I'll go 27-20. I'll give 3 more to the Eagles. Going to be a close one, as it always is. It's going to be classic, but I think the Cowboys edge them out of this one. Eagles coming a little banged up. Hurts still a little banged up from the last game. But I think the Cowboys get it done right now. This, if they want to be that Super Bowl team, as Josh just said, they're going to have to win these games. They're going to have to get a staple game, put on their resume. So as we point out, that Seahawks game, it was supposed to be that game of the Seahawks kind of going on a downward spiral right now. Kenny Walker not looking too good. They shout out Dylan Fly, Eagles Fly. We'll get that one in there. But yeah, no, it's whatever. Someone's got to sneak in the Fly, Eagles Fly. But I got Cowboys 27-20. Just quickly for Tony on that one. What about Cincy? Tony's bringing up Cincy. No, I'll throw them in there with the Bills. They're done too. Get them out. Browning, it's great. Good for him. Great backup. Proven himself to be a solid backup. But you're not going to lose your starting quarterback every time on the opposite side. And as much as CJ Beathard is serviceable, it's just it wasn't going to happen. So I think Bengals just got a little lucky last night with the injury. Capitalize on it, but hey, can't. Got to give Browning some credit. He's looking like a serviceable quarterback in the league, so got to give him a shout out. But it's pretty easy when you're throwing Jamar Chase sometimes too. So just want to put that out there.
Good point. It's going to be tough for them to kind of hang on. Good win for them though. Good win. I do like that win. Tough AFC. Dylan, Dallas hasn't proven anything, so they better not lose. Here we go. This is what he does. He throws that in. They better not lose. I mean, I'm not gonna fall for the bait. I like it, Dylan. I like it. He's got his Kelly Green on while he's watching the show. I'm gonna go quick. My lock of the week: Miami Dolphins. They're at home. They're going for that number 1 seed, Ben. And hey, what do they do very well at? They beat up on poor teams. teams that aren't that good. Hey, I'm not knocking the Dolphins. I still think that they're a playoff team. I still think that they have a chance to make a run in the playoffs. I'm just saying they beat up on bad teams. That's what you're supposed to do. Dallas does the same thing. I think I'm going to say Dolphins put up 40 again this week. Tua's going to have a great day. Tyreek Hill's going to be, I'm going to say 2 touchdowns and the peace sign. 40-13. Will Levis and company not going to get it done. DeAndre Hopkins, you made the wrong decision going there. Miami, my lock of the week. I had to play it more safe this week. I mean, last week, yeah.
Okay, a little safe on that one. I like it, Josh. Yeah, it's an easy one. Dolphins, I think, roll over their Titans. Just they can't compete with that offense. I'll go. Shout out to Zach on this one too. I'll go quick with my Saints over Panthers. It's just pretty easy. Sorry, Ray and Panthers fans. Just kind of just take the Panthers against the Panthers every week. I think the Saints need that bounce back one. They showed a little nice life in that Lions game. I mean, it was looking really bad, 21-0. But they showed life in that second half. Made it a game. So you got to give credit for that. I think they can have a nice bounce one, get back on track against the Panthers like everyone else does.
Thinking that, not for you, Ben. I just raw.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the money
Oof,
line. Yeah,
I don't like
that's what I'm
that.
saying. Jeez, no, I was looking at that too, Josh. Don't worry, that's what caught my attention. I don't know if I can agree with Robbie Betts on that one this week, but hey, be a solid money line if it hit. But I think the Saints get back on track. Lock it up. Saints get back on track with that one. We'll come back to that one. We'll come back.
I'll go quick. Upset of the week. We're keeping things in the NFC South. You know me. You know if you watch the show or you just listen to me. I can't stand this Falcons team. They're ran by idiots. They're both like Taylor Heineke I like, but
He's got
like,
Bijan Robinson.
they don't even know how to use him. Like Kyle Pitts, they don't know how to use. Hopefully Baker Mayfield's healthy. I mean, every week I'm trying to say this Tampa Bay team is the upset of the week. I also wanted to stay away from Ben's upset. No preview there, but just in general. So I think me and you were thinking alike. So I stood away from that one. So I like Tampa Bay in that one. I'll keep it short and sweet. I hate the Falcons. They suck. I used to like them. Matt Ryan was on the team, Matty Ice, and then I can't stand their owner. He's a freaking idiot. And their coach is just even more of an idiot. So both the Arthurs are dumbasses. I'll even get a little PG-13 there. I like the Tampa Bay Bucks to win that one. I'll say 23-17. Mike Evans goes off. And let me just say, deserves way more credit. He's only played with one legit quarterback in his career in Tom Brady. He played with 30 for 30 Jameis Winston, had to deal with him. Shout out to Mike Evans, who is probably one of the most underrated players in this league. Another year over 1,000 yards. This guy deserves to go to a Super Bowl team again. He does. He deserves it.
Yeah, I hope Charlie O'Donnell was listening to that one. Charlie O'Donnell has a pretty strong stance on him. He doesn't agree with you, Josh, on that one, but not too big of a Mike Evans fan on him. But yeah, I got to agree with you on that one. Everyone's always disrespecting him. I mean, just got his 10th 1,000-yard season. Only one person ahead of him and to ever do that is Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice has 15 1,000-yard seasons. So, I mean, if he's up there with Jerry Rice, we got to give Mike Evans a little credit where it's due. So, shout out to Mike Evans, just consistently performing. As Josh pointed out, yeah, he's never really had a stable quarterback. It's always been this. Brady was good for, his time. But, just always a different quarterback. And Dillon, yeah, I think Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer.
100%.
Yeah, they just the stats speak for himself. So, go quick. Great minds think alike with this one, Josh. I know Josh wanted this one too, but especially with his Josh Dobbs take earlier. But I got the Raiders over the Vikings. I think I'm not as much as a fraud alert on the Vikings as Josh is, but I think the Raiders just take this one at home. I think the Raiders. I could just see them winning this one. I think the Vikings is just still. Everyone's figuring out Dobbs right now. I still think he's good. I still think he'll get some wins under his belt for this Vikings team. But I think right now it's just kind of coming back down to earth. And I got the Raiders. I just got a good feeling about this Raiders team. I think they'll get this win. So we got that one. Yep, we gotta agree with. Yeah, look at that one. Yep, the interim head coach. That's what I'm going with too. I totally forgot about that, but throw that one in there too. But yeah, Raiders, Josh. If we win that one, I'll throw Josh. Josh had that pick as well, so we'll give it to us both.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm going with the Bucks. I'm going to ride them. Hey, Jeff Warren. Yep. Good point. The interim head coach bump, huh? I mean,
He's been
he's been
nice.
giving them a little kind of
Really
reminds me
just
of
works for
that.
that first game after, but I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it'll work this couple of games after, but I think they still play better for him than
For
McDaniels.
sure.
McDaniels get that guy out
Bozo.
there.
A credit to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. That is true. I know the Patriots fans want him back. I don't even. I mean, you guys were calling for him
Can
to
I have him back?
leave. I don't know why you would want him back. But again, I'm just gonna finish it off with this because I'm so highly on this. I'll go Dallas quick, but I got a Celtics take I want to get back to. But Dallas got to win at home. Got to be legit. This would be a legitimate win. I'm already like in the back of my mind, like not weary. I think Dallas should win, but I don't know. I got a weird feeling even if we do win this game. I don't know. I don't know. But Dallas should win 27-26. In the Celtics, let's figure this Porzingis thing out. Because I was saying this before. Everybody called me a hater. Everybody said this. Everybody said that. I hope that they're resting him out of precaution, and I hope this doesn't become a lingering thing. Because if this becomes a lingering thing, oh boy. That's all I gotta say.
Definitely gotta keep tabs on that. I'll keep it short and sweet here, Josh. Thanks everyone for listening, as always. But 2017 Steelers over the Pats. Hit that over.